Hi children, last class we studied about percentage of GDP by each sector, primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector, and we concluded that which is the most emerging sector in India. So we learned service sector or the tertiary sector is the most emerging sector in India. After that secondary sector, then only primary sector. So today we will study what are the rising importance of the tertiary sector in production, or why tertiary sector is became emerging sector in India. We will study what are the reason. Okay. So the first reason, in any country the services, several services such as educational institution, hospital, post and telegraph services, police station, banking, insurance, these etc. These all are required. So these are the basic services. So what ma'am told children, in all the countries several services such as educational institution, hospital, post and telegraph services, insurance, banking, police station, etc. These all are required. These all are basic services. So in a developing country, it is the responsibility or government taken the responsibility of providing these services. So these services, you know, it will included in the service sector or tertiary sector. So this is the first reason why tertiary sector is emerging in India. So what I told children, several services, okay, in a country several services, ma'am told which all are the services. So several services are important, okay, like educational institution, banking institutions, banking, then insurance, like that many services are essential or the basic services. So these services who will provide in developing countries? Government. Okay, government will take the responsibility. So this is one reason, first reason why tertiary sector became the emerging sector in India. Okay, second one, you know children, when the development of agriculture taking place, when the agriculture and industry develop, automatically tertiary sector also develop, because you know storage, marketing, storage, so transport facility, that everything needed for agriculture and industry. So when agriculture and industry develop means automatically tertiary sector or service sector also develop. That is the second reason. Okay, so when the agriculture and industry develop, automatically what will happen? Automatically service sector also will increase. Okay, so that is the second reason. Third one, when the income level of the people increase. So you know children, when income of the people increases means they will demand more services. Okay, they will demand more services such as tourism, they will private hospitals, okay, private schools, private hospitals, tourism, then they will prefer to go out and have their dinner in hotel. Okay, like that many demand of the people also increases. So these all essential services included in the service sector, that you already know. So what ma'am told children, when the income of the people increases means they will demand more services such as tourism, private schools, private education, hotel, like that they will demand more services. Automatically what will happen? Service sector will develop or it will become the emerging sector. This is another reason. Next one, over the past decade, if we are checking over the past decade, we can see that certain services such as information technology, okay, this became very important and essential in our life. Okay, so that is the last point why this sector became the emerging sector. If we are checking the last decade, we can finalize that some services such as information technology, it will become important. It will become important and essential in our life. So this is another reason why the service sector or the tertiary sector is emerging in India. So these are the main point. Last one ma'am told about information technology. Okay, information technology and technology. So it became very essential and important for the people. So these are the main reason why tertiary sector is became an emerging sector in India, or this is the rising importance of tertiary sector in production. So our next topic, where are most of the people employed? In which sector most of the people are employed, whether it is in primary sector, secondary sector or tertiary sector. Last class we studied, okay, what about the percentage of GDP by each sector. If you are checking the GDP rate, primary, secondary and tertiary sector providing, okay, in tertiary sector providing more percentage of GDP, that, and after that industry, then only primary sector, that already we learned in the last class. Today we will look what about the employment, or what about the employee in most of the sector, how much people are employed, or which sector is providing more employment opportunity.
So last class we compared the share of GDP by each sector. If we are checking the data of 1973-74 and 2013 and 14, we can conclude that in 1973-74 the share of GDP, that is very high in each sector. The share of GDP, service sector providing more GDP comparing with other two sectors. Then if we are looking the case of 2013-14, that also we can conclude that service sector providing more share in GDP, after that secondary sector, then only primary sector. But a remarkable change we can see both years. If we are comparing, we can see that the share of GDP by each sector, we can see an increasing trend. But at the same way, the share of three sectors in GDP, we can't see a similar shift has taken place in the case of employment. Just we will analyze the graph of 1977-78 and 2017-18. A graph is given in your textbook that shows the share of sectors in employment. Okay, so in the graph we can conclude that in 1977-78, which sector most of the people are employed? Primary sector, then tertiary sector, then secondary sector. That is the graph showing in the year 1977-78. Just look the year 2017 and 18. Here also you can see providing the share of employment. Which sector is giving more employment opportunity? Primary sector. So both years we compared, we can conclude that in the share of GDP, primary sector is very less, but providing employment opportunity, the primary sector comparing with the other two sector, primary sector providing more employment opportunity. From this we can conclude that in the agricultural sector, not producing much GDP, but most of the people are employed. More than 50% of people are employed in the primary sector comparing with the other two sectors. Other two sectors we can conclude that less than 50% of people are employed, but their share of GDP, the sector secondary and tertiary sector, their GDP share that is high, but employment providing that is below 50%.
So from the graph we can conclude that most of the people are employed in the primary sector, but the percentage of GDP in primary sector, that is very less comparing to other two sectors. The percentage of GDP, only 1/6% of GDP producing through primary sector. But if we are checking about the employment, most of the people are employed. More than 50% of the people are engaged in agricultural sector or the primary sector. From this we can understand that people in the agriculture sector are underemployed. Okay, people in the primary sector or the agricultural sector, we can understand that they are underemployed. Many people are working in the agricultural sector. If we are removing some people from this sector, it won't affect the production. Okay, so this is called underemployment or disguised unemployment. So in the agricultural sector, we can see disguised unemployment or underemployment. So what is unemployment? Unemployment is a situation where people ready to work, they are willing to work, but they don't have opportunity. So such situation is called unemployment. What is disguised unemployment or underemployment? Underemployment or disguised unemployment means people are apparently working. People are apparently working but not producing much potential. Okay, many people are working in an agricultural field. Suppose we will take one example. 10 farmers are working in a field and they are working, okay, but they are not producing much potential. Okay, how much people are working, that much potential they are not making. Okay, so these people, if we are removing 2 people from these out of 10, 2 people we removed means it won't affect the production. Okay, one more example I will tell. Okay, in your textbook have one example. Lakshmi, one farmer. She has 2 hectares of unirrigated land and she is mainly depends upon rain. Okay, mainly depends upon rain for his farming and mainly cultivating jowar and arhar. He mainly cultivating jowar and arhar. And who is the workers in his field, in her field? Her family workers or her family members. They were the workers in the field and all the works are divided among the family members. All the workers are working together and all the works are divided between the family members. Okay, so if we are looking, we can understand that all the workers are working. Okay, they are doing the work, but we can tell they are fully employed. No, they are not fully employed, they are underemployed. Okay, all the people have work but they are not fully employed, they were underemployed. Okay, so this is a situation. This underemployment is also known as disguised unemployment. We can see underemployment mainly in the agricultural sector. Agricultural sector in rural area, we can see in agricultural sector underemployment or disguised unemployment. Okay, in urban sector, in urban area, we can mainly see among the small shop or small business work is there. No, in that field we can see disguised unemployment. So once again ma'am will tell you a clear definition for disguised unemployment or underemployment. What is underemployment or disguised unemployment? People are apparently working. People are apparently working but not producing much potential. That is known as disguised unemployment or underemployment. Underemployment also called disguised unemployment. This disguised unemployment or underemployment, these are hidden. Okay, underemployment are hidden. I think it is clear to you. Okay, anyway, today we mainly studied about why tertiary sector became an emerging sector in India. Then we learned in which sector most of the people are employed. Then finally we studied about unemployment. What is disguised unemployment? I think today's topic is clear to you. If you have any doubt, ask me. We will meet in the next class.